Imagine a young scholar, brilliant and ambitious, who at the height of his career begins to question everything he knows. This is the story of Al-Ghazali, one of Islam's greatest thinkers, who embarked on a profound journey to uncover the deepest truths of existence. In this episode on Attic, we explore the spiritual and philosophical depths of Al-Ghazali's deliverance from error and the beginning of guidance. Al-Ghazali was a pivotal figure in Islamic philosophy and theology. His quest for certainty led him through the winding paths of skepticism, philosophy, and ultimately, Sufism. He documented this incredible journey in his seminal work, Deliverance from Error and the Beginning of Guidance. In the spirit of discovery, let's remove the dust and reveal the enduring wisdom of Al-Ghazali. Al-Ghazali's journey begins with a profound intellectual and spiritual crisis. At the height of his career, he found himself questioning the very foundations of his beliefs. This skepticism towards inherited doctrines drove him to seek certainty in a world filled with conflicting ideologies. He described the different religious observances and communities of the human race as the following:
ocean depths in which the majority drown, and only a minority reach safety.
This compelling need to understand the truth led him to meticulously examine his own doubts and the limitations of his understanding. In his quest for truth, Al-Ghazali identified four classes of seekers: theologians, philosophers, Batina, and Sufis. Theologians focused on preserving and defending Islamic orthodoxy through systematic arguments. Al-Ghazali acknowledged the importance of theology in protecting the faith, but felt that it did not satisfy his deeper quest for certainty. He noted that
the aim of theology is merely to preserve the creed of orthodoxy and to defend it against the deviations of heretics.
He believed that theological arguments, while valuable, often lacked the depth needed to address his profound existential questions. Philosophers, on the other hand, engaged deeply in logical and metaphysical inquiries. Philosophers like Aristotle provided valuable tools for reasoning, yet their approaches often led to conflicts with religious doctrines. Al-Ghazali appreciated their intellectual rigor but found their solutions lacking in spiritual fulfillment. He realized that
I realized that to refute a system before understanding it and becoming acquainted with its depths is to act blindly. I therefore set out in all earnestness to acquire a knowledge of philosophy from books, by private study, without the help of an instructor.
This understanding pushed him to fully grasp philosophical systems before critiquing them. However, he ultimately found that philosophy alone could not fulfill his spiritual needs. The Batina emphasized esoteric knowledge and the authority of infallible imams. Al-Ghazali was intrigued by their focus on hidden truths, but remained critical of their reliance on unchallengeable authorities. He said,
whenever I meet one of the Batiniyya, I like to study his creed.
Recognizing the value in exploring different creeds, he remained cautious about accepting any form of knowledge that relied heavily on unquestionable authority. Sufis, who pursued direct, mystical experiences of the divine, offered a path that resonated deeply with Al-Ghazali. Their emphasis on inner purification and personal connection with God provided the spiritual solace he sought. He appreciated the idea of the purification of the soul in the Sufi way of life. In Sufism, Al-Ghazali found a method of spiritual practice that transcended intellectual arguments, focusing instead on personal transformation and direct experience of the divine. Through his examination of these different groups, Al-Ghazali came to understand the strengths and limitations of each approach. He found that true understanding required not just intellectual inquiry, but also spiritual insight. Reflecting on his journey, Al-Ghazali concluded that while theology and philosophy were valuable, they could not provide the complete guidance he sought for his spiritual journey. This realization ultimately guided him towards a deeper spiritual connection, blending rigorous intellectual pursuit with profound personal transformation. In the beginning of guidance, Al-Ghazali provides a comprehensive guide for those seeking spiritual growth, emphasizing the importance of daily acts of worship, cleanliness, and righteous conduct. He begins by stressing the significance of daily prayers, which serve as a constant reminder of one's commitment to God. Prayers are not just rituals, but opportunities to connect deeply with the divine.
Worship God as if you see him, for even if you do not see him, he sees you.
Al-Ghazali reminds. This powerful hadith underscores the need for sincerity and mindfulness in worship, encouraging believers to cultivate a profound sense of God's presence in their daily lives. Al-Ghazali also emphasizes the importance of cleanliness and righteous conduct. Maintaining physical cleanliness is seen as a reflection of one's inner purity and discipline. Cleanliness in thought and action is equally crucial, as it signifies a commitment to moral integrity and ethical living. Righteous conduct extends to all aspects of life, including interactions with others, honesty in dealings, and a compassionate attitude towards all beings. By adhering to these principles, individuals can lead a life that is pleasing to God and beneficial to the community. Avoidance of sins is another critical aspect of Al-Ghazali's guidance. He warns against both major and minor sins, highlighting their potential to corrupt the soul and distance one from God.
Guard yourself against sins, both open and secret.
He cautions, emphasizing the importance of self-discipline and vigilance. Sins, whether public or private, create barriers between the individual and the divine, hindering spiritual progress. Al-Ghazali encourages believers to engage in regular self-reflection, to recognize and repent for their shortcomings, and to strive continuously towards moral excellence. Furthermore, Al-Ghazali delves into the profound relationship between God and man, offering insights into how this bond can be nurtured and strengthened. He teaches that the highest level of guidance is achieved through a sincere and heartfelt connection with God.
The highest level of guidance is the relationship between God and man.
Al-Ghazali asserts, highlighting that this relationship is the cornerstone of spiritual enlightenment. Sincerity in faith and actions is crucial. It transforms routine religious practices into meaningful spiritual experiences. This bond with the divine is not just about following rules, but about developing a deep, personal, and loving relationship with God. In his teachings, Al-Ghazali illustrates that true spiritual growth requires more than just intellectual understanding. It demands a dedicated practice of daily worship, a commitment to cleanliness and righteous conduct, vigilance against sins, and above all, a sincere and profound relationship with God. By following this path, believers can achieve a balanced and fulfilling spiritual life, grounded in both external actions and inner purity. This holistic approach to guidance ensures that the individual not only follows the right path, but also experiences the divine presence in every aspect of their life. As we conclude our exploration of deliverance from error and the beginning of guidance by Al-Ghazali, it's essential to highlight the enduring relevance of his works. Al-Ghazali's profound spiritual and philosophical insights continue to inspire and guide seekers of truth across generations. His journey from skepticism to faith is a testament to the universal quest for understanding and certainty that transcends time and culture. Al-Ghazali's writings remind us of the importance of critical self-examination and sincere devotion in our spiritual journeys. By doing so, we can embark on our own journeys of self-discovery and spiritual growth, following in the footsteps of one of Islam's greatest thinkers. As Al-Ghazali himself said,
"Knowledge without action is wastefulness, and action without knowledge is foolishness."
This quote encapsulates the essence of his teachings, urging us to seek knowledge earnestly and apply it sincerely in our lives.